It's a pleasure to be here. uh, Last program, we had a very interesting program last week. We touched on a number of things. Persons were, we touched on circulation, we touched on eyes. I know we have some questions that I was supposed to look at. But yeah, this week was one of those weeks. I just had a very interesting week, but such is life. Yeah, I have problems with my tooth. Yeah, worst pain I've experienced in my life. Good grief. Yeah, I'm still experiencing because I still have to go and so I try to speak as properly. Now, something like if I get some licks in my mouth, with yeah. So that being said, I promised to answer those questions for you guys next week. I really didn't get to look at it, so I'm not even going to try.
Actually, we have some of those questions. One was related to Santolan.
Right. Okay. Well, that I know off the top of my head.
Right. The person had asked if Santolan can be used for dizzy spells or bouts of weakness.
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, Santulan is a 7-channel detox, right? So we know we have 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So the thing with Santulan would give you a lot of benefit if you have problems with low energy. But if you're having problems with dizziness and weakness, because there's a difference between weakness and tiredness, right? So someone could be tired, but they're not necessarily weak. So it's just a matter of they have an energy situation, low energy. We might do some work on the digestive system, do some work on the liver, and Santulan would work in that case where someone has issues with being tired. But weakness is a different connotation in the sense that it has situations associated with maybe being anemic. And if someone has dizzy situations, that is also something where we would not recommend Santulan in the initial aspects of your protocol. What we would do is put Santulan there somewhere maybe about 2 months down the road or something like that. And the reason for that is because in a situation where someone is weak and the possibility exists that you are anemic, you have problems with low blood count, and that would, you find women who have problems with irregular menstrual cycle, frequent bleeding, heavy bleeding, that type of situation. Dizziness could be a situation where you have problems with being anemic, so that could also be an issue, or it could be an issue where you have a problem with poor circulation and you're not getting enough blood flow to your brain. So in a case like that, what we would recommend that you use the alkagen water. We would recommend the advanced chlorophyll mineral formula with the colloidal silver. We would recommend things like optimizer, that type of thing. So we're looking at now building the body, getting the body into a particular up to a particular level, as it were, and then from that aspect, subsequent to that, then we could actually do the cleansing. So I hope you got that as regards to when exactly and who exactly should use Santulan. Once you're anemic, once you have serious problems with dehydration, and I've covered this maybe on another frequency. A pleasant good morning to everyone on the live, where I highlighted the point that you do not want to end up in healing crisis, and healing crisis is when toxins try to leave the body faster than you want it to. So an individual should not do a detox if they are dehydrated. And the most logical and sensible way to determine whether you're dehydrated or not would be to take your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. And if you have not been drinking that amount of water consistently for the past 3 to 6 months, then you're dehydrated. And you should do the alkagen water and start hydrating the body, and then we could go the role of introducing the other things. Okay?
All right. So we last show you covered kidney health. And
right.
We have some questions coming up regarding that. So here's a question this morning. What is the difference between using warm water with lemon and olive oil compared to using this without the water to assist in the breakdown of kidney stones?
Okay, so let's see if I get a question. So basically, you're mixing lemon and olive oil, and the question is, should that mixture have water in it in order to?
What is the difference if you So with or without water. So let's just say you just want to use the lemon and the olive oil.
Oh, well, you see, what you have to understand with rough skin lemon or citric acid that comes from that type of citrus is that the heat or the temperature of the water activates certain chemicals and gives it the ability to work better in the body. Because one of the things that they were actually saying is when you use rough skin lemon in hot water or warm water, then it would activate the anti-carcinogenic and the antioxidant properties and that type of thing. So similarly with someone who is using it for a situation with kidney stones and you put in olive oil there, that would be the reason. It's going to allow the properties to be magnified, for want of a better expression, and make it more effective in actually dealing with the situation.
All right, great. Thank you so much for texting in, and you can send your text messages as well to 299-4103. Here is another question that's regarding kidneys. I'm a 47-year-old female with kidney cysts. What can I do to ease the pain inside of my abdomen?
Now, if you have kidney cysts and you're getting pain, it means you have some serious cysts. So that is a chronic situation. You need to address that as soon as possible. I mean, that's a walk in the park for us at Batson and Associates. I know our appointments are significantly backed up, and especially the ones to see me specifically. I mean, if you're looking at dealing with the junior consultants who are quite qualified, Ms. Ramdan, Mr. Green, or new consultant, Mr. Bastamante, you would be able to get an earlier appointment. But in any case, if you're getting pain and you have cysts in your kidneys, it's something that you should deal with, because one of the things I always tell persons, when you look at anatomy and physiology and you understand how the human body works, you understand in terms of organs, your kidney is one of the most difficult organs to bring about corrective care to. So in other words, it is an organ that you don't want to give you problems, because it is the most difficult organ in the body to recuperate or rejuvenate. I mean, your eyes as well, but kidneys definitely when you raise where that is concerned. So if you have cysts, to the extent that you're getting discomfort and pain in your abdomen, it means that it's very serious. It is chronic. You run the risk of developing kidney infections, because those cysts, depending on the size and the location in the kidneys, could actually affect and cause infections in the kidney, which will, of course, make your situation 10 times worse, because then you run the risk of it becoming septic and a whole set of situation, right? So you're looking at things like kidney tea. If you have never come to Batson and Associates, what I suggest, you should at least get the Alkagen water, get the inflammation formula, the advanced chlorophyll, and the kidney tea. No cold water in your regime at all. Take cold water completely out of your daily routine. No dairy, so no cheese, no butter. Contrary to popular belief, egg is not dairy, right? So you could use eggs. I don't know who came up with the idea that egg was dairy, but it is not. Right? And try to have more nutrient-dense foods in your diet, nutrient-dense greens. So use things like, lettuce, more salad, more roughage in the diet. And once you do that, you should get some significant relief until you're able to actually get a full consultation or blood analysis, magnetic resonance analysis scan with Batson and Associates. Let me just give you those office telephone numbers. You could give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. And our locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We are also on the corner of Rampton Wood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Bebe, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. You could give us a call for deliveries. We do have deliveries up and running. Just keep in mind, when you place the order for the delivery, you may be looking at a 3 to 4 day wait. And that's just to make sure they process everything and that kind of thing for you. All right? Let me say a pleasant good morning to Facebook. We're streaming live on Facebook. Miss Michelle Rampasat, good morning. Miss Carol Pitt, good morning. I'll address your questions in a little while, because when I finish with 1 or 3, I'll address you on for like about 15 minutes, and I'll see how much questions I'll be able to run through with you guys.
All right. so here's another question. What can you say about arthritis in the knee and the joints, in the hands, when we consume juices or soft drinks? So what should I use? What should I stop?
You're not supposed to be drinking soft drink. You're not supposed to be drinking juice. At least a lot of those packaged juices, because of the type of sugar that they have in it. Remember, arthritis is an inflammatory condition, right? So what that simply means is that with inflammation or inflammatory response, you have a lot of acid, you have an environment that is conducive for sickness or disease. So in that particular situation, you find that you want to reduce the foods that are going to create an inflammatory situation in the body. So it means you want to reduce things like soft drink, as you said, things like juice, because of sugar in there. Remember, sugar is very oxidative. Sugar causes significant breakdown in your body. I tell you, sugar worse than even fat and oil and fried food. Sugar is literally poison. Sugar should be banned, quite frankly, but of course we know the world we live in. So sugar is actually 10 times more addictive than cocaine, right? So it is something that you should take into consideration as regards to reducing in the diet, especially if you are an arthritic individual. Interestingly, as we're speaking about arthritis, we have back in stock inflammation formula. I know we have some joint tea. We'll be getting more tea shortly because we have to top up on prostate, male tea, kidney, liver, hypertension, sugar control. I know we have a lot of circulation in stock. Very good tea. Someone on the live was just saying, try the circulation tea. I mean, none of those teas would let you down, but circulation tea, IT, very, very good teas.
All right, here's another question. Can you address vitiligo in kids?
Vitiligo, right? Okay, good.
Yes.
And it's always vitiligo, vitiligo, right? Okay. So there's the skin situation. Yes, as always, mix up both of them. Right. In children, the thing is, people who have vitiligo, I mean, a lot of research has shown, it's an issue with melatonin in the skin and that type of thing. But it has a lot to do with mineral deficiency, especially as it relates to nutrient-dense foods. So it means that child's diet is lacking something, a lot of things, and it needs to be addressed. I don't know the age of the child, but definitely you need to make some changes in the dietary aspect. I have dealt with persons with that situation before. There was a stem cell. Stem cell products tend to work for that. Coconut oil also works. Vitamin C also works. So we could also always put together a protocol for you where that is concerned. However, it is imperative that the lifestyle is changed. Because I always tell persons it doesn't make any sense. You come to us, and just as I was given the explanation with the arthritis situation, you have arthritis, but you're using a lot of inflammatory food. That just don't make any sense. So if you have a situation, and the majority of us who may have issues with our health, I say us, just to sound inclusive, but thank God I don't have any of those issues as yet, and I hopefully hope that remains the case. But we could always better our best, even in my case, because I always try to do things to ensure that I am healthy, I become healthy, and maintain good health. So in situations like that, one needs to examine the root cause of the problem and deal with the root cause of the problem. One of the things we do at Batson and Associates, and I haven't spoken about this in a while, but we do have it still running, which is the special that we have with the live nutritional blood cell analysis, the dry blood analysis, and the magnetic resonance analysis scan. In those instances, we have could actually do those tests and determine significantly any specific issues that you may have, but issues from the aspect of the root cause of the problem and not necessarily dealing with the symptomology, which never really works. At least it never works in the long term, right? And that's what persons, I think, looking for, because you don't want to be sick. My question, I asked someone the other day, and I'll ask persons listening to the live, why are you sick for 10 years? Why are you sick for 15 years? Why are you sick for 20 years? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. The only people who do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, is a mad person. Einstein said that is the height of insanity. So it means you need to examine or re-examine what you're doing and make the necessary adjustments.
So here's another question for you. What are some remedies for mucus retention cyst in the nostril? And also, can you tell us some more about PCOS, polycystic ovarian cyst?
If you're having problems with sinus and a lot of mucus, well, you know you need to take dairy out your diet, right? So we touched on that a while ago. So you're looking at cheese, butter, milk. I tell persons milk, adults should not be drinking milk, period. I don't care where you're telling them what here. Some people say they don't like to, they need to see some white in the tea. What I mean, I don't know. So in other words, they can't drink tea as tea is supposed to be drunk, which is without any impurities, you know, no milk, no sugar inside of it. So if you have that situation, long tea is going to help, inflammation formula will help, alkaline water, santulan. You need to address the root cause of the problem. Anyone who has a sinus problem has problem with mucus inflammation in the sinus cavity. And if you have ever seen a detailed tree diagram of what this particular aspect of your body looks like, especially all here, the side where your lymph nodes are, and the sinus cavity and stuff, you'll realize everything is connected, right? So that's why you have ENT specialists, right? Ears, nose, throat. So definitely we could put together something that would address that situation. But again, the diet is fundamental in ensuring that you get the results that you want. That's one. And the second aspect of the question was, what was it, Karen? Okay, right. Oh, well, I mean, that's a walk in the park for Bats and Associates. If you in a crowd with women and you throw a dice, any one of the women you hit there would have polycystic ovaries. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is becoming like the common cold among women. And the reason for that, and it is something that is very serious, because polycystic ovarian syndrome begins as polycystic ovarian syndrome and could end in ovarian cancer, cervical cancer. So you need to be very careful. It is an indication that your body is telling you that something is wrong. And not that something is just wrong, but something is significantly wrong. So what you would need to do in that particular situation is, again, we need to address gastrointestinal, we need to address endocrine, hormonal. And once you do that, you're able to correct that situation. You should significantly reduce your intake of chicken, unless it's a yard fowl you're eating. But once you're using commercial chicken, problems. The hormones and the estrogen in that is seriously problematic. You also need to leave soy alone, because soy is phyto, estrogen, prefix phyto stands for plant, estrogen. You don't want that because excessive estrogen levels would compromise one's entire hormonal system and menstrual cycle and those type of things. So you can feel free to give us a call or visit those telephone numbers. Again, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. And those locations, first floor Money Talks building in Montrose, Chabonas. Keep in mind, St. James' office is still open. The entrance to that office is the back entrance, which is on Church Street. And in Davie, we are the corner of Ransomwood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road. Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago.
All right, so on the note of soya and soya products, this was a question that popped up last week, because you had mentioned just the use of soya.
Right.
This is coming from someone who has to prepare vegan dishes for
right.
the daughter who's 12.
Okay.
And soya is used as a substitute, but we're hearing that it is harmful for males and females. Yeah. So can you explain why soya is harmful and what you just mentioned, and what do you suggest as a substitute?
That's a good question. The thing with soya, I know a lot of persons were big advocates of soya for a while, but the problem with soya, as I said, it is a phytoestrogen. The thing is, I believe in a diet, in a Western diet, soya will be problematic. In an Eastern diet, not so much, because remember, these people are very disciplined in their diet and what they eat and that type of thing. A lot of things the Western will consume, people in the East don't even look at it, right? So you find that, thank you, Mr. Bastamante. Pleasant good morning to you, sir. So you find in those particular situations, you want to take soya out of the equation. Because even with men, this situation known as gynecomastia, which is where men literally get like breasts. The situation we realize with that is because of, again, excessive estrogen in the foods, because of the hormones in the chicken and all these type of things, and even with the soy. So that is why you should not really partake of it. And another thing is the majority of soy on the market is genetically modified. That's the next thing. So you have GMOs to deal with, right? So you want to leave that out of the diet. I mean, there are a number of other things. I am not necessarily an advocate of vegetarianism. I have no problem with it. But I do have an issue with people eating meat. I just believe, based on my experience and my knowledge, that you need to know what type of meat you're eating, how the meat is prepared, where the meat comes from, because you have all kind of animals that, very quickly there was a situation where they was telling you in slaughterhouses, one of the things they realized with animals, it was so inhumane. And animals are not stupid, so an animal who witnesses the death of another animal, they know what their portion going to be. What do you think the animal going to be? All happy and go lucky that, okay, they're going to kill me? No. So one of the things that they have actually proven, and science has proven this, research has proven this, is that a lot of these animals, when they witness what goes on in these slaughterhouses, they actually produce chemicals from the brain that actually poison the meat, because of the emotional and psychological trauma that these animals experience. So the meats themselves now that you're going to consume is literally poison. Very interesting. That's why now, I remember in some countries they had legislation where they made these slaughterhouses more immune, where they had them, everybody was, they did things in a particular way as opposed to where they had them where, it was craziness. So that's also something that you want to pay close attention to. So the point is, a pleasant good morning, Ms. McKenna, Pauline McKenna. So it is an indication that we need, or you need, to really know exactly what you're consuming. And that's why reading your labels is important. Educating yourself is important. I know there are a lot of options where vegetarian dishes are concerned. I remember there was a time I was abroad, I was studying, I went to some conference, and one of the things that we were given something that looked like meat, it didn't smell, but it looked like meat, tastes like meat. But they had made it with split peas and a lot of different things. So there are other options out there. So try, after God is Google and after Google is YouTube. So YouTube, some recipes, and find some things. Find some healthy alternatives.
And tofu is derived from soy. Is it? What's the difference between tofu?
Exactly, yeah. Most of the time when they make tofu, they make tofu with soy. Now, I am not a connoisseur where those things are concerned, but I have heard that there's tofu that is not made from soy. I don't know. Maybe I could do some research for you guys. But I know I have seen where they made meat substitutes with legumes from some things like chana and split peas. And I've eaten those and they tasted really good. There was a time I went somewhere that was abroad again, and they had done it with, was that when I was in China, boy? They did it with what we call melangen or eggplant, where they actually made something that looked like meat, it tastes like meat, but it wasn't meat, and it was just made from eggplant and some other things. So there are a lot of different options out there.
299-4103, we have any questions for Dr. Jason Batson? Here is a question for you. Someone, he says he works shifts, so his schedule is all over the place.
Crazy.
So is his eating.
Right.
So he has to consume food at all hours. So how can he control his weight?
He can control his weight. Okay, a pleasant good morning to Miss Pamela Moses. Ms. Moses said, good morning, Doc. Someone told me he is getting results from using the IT. You're good. I'm glad to hear that. A pleasant good morning to Miss Grace. Okay, the thing is, shift workers have it difficult, a little more difficult than they actually know, because not a rain on your parade. They actually proved that people who do not get sufficient night rest, Harvard had done a study where they say you can actually take off 7 to 14 years of your lifespan, and that's a lot, right? So in those situations, you need to play catch up. So what I would suggest you do is try your best and implement a change in your meal plan where you can actually use more protein, especially when you have to eat late in the night. The thing is, a lot of people may be forced to eat late on evenings or late in the night. But of course, if you give yourself a 2 you would prefer a meal that is more protein based. Diet, so the transit time in the colon is going to be shorter, and you find with that you're able to maintain a healthier weight, and you do not put your cardiovascular system and different systems in problem. Okay. Beef is the thing is, it depends on the quality of beef that you get, right? So if you're getting grass-fed beef, that's going to be a better quality. But beef in essence, too much of beef is problematic. Remember, beef is red meat. Too much of red meat could cause things like gout, which is the buildup of excess uric acid, that type of thing. Digesting is also a vital important. There's a product we use at Batson and Associates called Digestive Balance. And there's also one called Digestive Restore. Very good products as it relates to addressing digestive flora. So the thing is with me, especially if I eat late in the evening, based on my workout routine and my schedule, I would ensure that I have my digestive balance. And if I'm using, thank you so much, Miss Mohammed. And if I'm using if I'm using like beef, lamb, those type of meats, you find I would use more digestive balance because it actually helps to break down the protein, right? And I would not consume it with too much simple carbohydrates. Well, I don't really use simple carbohydrates. I would use it with rice. I would quickly use it with like more provision and vegetables. And that's the advantage that the Asian culture has on the Western world. The Western world just consume foolishness in abundance. So you're using bad meat with bad carbohydrates, no vegetables, no roughage in the diet, and the transit time in the colon is much longer. And the longer, because you hear people say that meat take 48 hours, 2 days, 7 days. That's true. But it depends on the individual that is consuming. And then especially if you're having your meals with juice and soft drink and those type of things, you're seriously impairing your body's ability to digest the food. And as a result of that, you're going to meet a lot of problems.
One more question before we wrap up for this week. Inflammation formula. How does the inflammation formula work? And can this be used even if you're not in pain or ill?
Inflammation formula is primarily a product that has in its ingredient profile a lot of antioxidants. So there's cherry tart concentrate in that. We have some goji, some mangosteen. So with that, you find its ability is actually to address inflammatory conditions. So just by doing that, it actually reduces inflammation. So unlike steroids, which suppress inflammation or even things like these different type of painkillers, that type of thing. So you find that you would get good results with that. We normally recommend it with other things depending on the person's situation. As regards to the other aspect of the question, in which is if you have to be sick to use it, no. No, I use the inflammation formula, and after God, I don't have any arthritis. But the product is such a good product. What that product also does, it helps you sleep very, very, very well. Very well. My sister was telling me that the other day because she had gotten one, and she was like, "Boy, this thing does make you sleep or what?" I said, "It actually does. It doesn't make you sleepy, but when you're ready to sleep, it facilitates an even better sleep." That together with the nerve restore, two amazing products. I'm working currently on some additional products. I know I owe you guys a weight loss product. We almost finish it. Just bear with me. When I get a product, I'll be the happiest people in the world. And I'll be very happy because I'll get maybe about 500 people off of my case. Right? All these ladies are never promising to beat me up.
How do you use the inflammation formula?
Inflammation formula is usually 2 teaspoons in 8 ounces of water. First thing in the morning, empty stomach. Last thing before you go to bed.
Right, so that takes care of the show for today. So just remind us of your contact information.
Definitely. Keep in mind, Facebook individuals, I'll be staying on for like about 15 minutes again on Facebook. You could join us there, Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. Our telephone numbers again are 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. And our locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We also on the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and Tobago's the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. Keep in mind, we do have our road delivery. So if you need water, if you need Santulan, if you need your circulation tea, take what I'm telling you. If you haven't tried our circulation tea, try it. Even if you just try 10, you'll be satisfied. Excellent product. We do have iOptics formula in stock as well. And we are sorting out things like cerebral and that type of thing. Right? As we always say at Batson Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Karen, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. To all the listeners of 103.1, have a safe Thursday. God bless you and your family. Be safe. Make sure and sanitize and do all the necessary things that we need to do to ensure that we come out of this COVID situation unscathed as best as we can. All right, Karen?
Thank you very much.
You're
Great
welcome.
to see you.
Same
Great
here.
to see you as always. Catch up with you next Thursday at 11. Dr. Jason Batson supporting Health Naturally, courtesy Batson and Associates.
Yes. So Facebook family, again, a pleasant good morning to you guys. Let me see if I can address some of your questions. Okay. Someone is asking this, Haridan. Thank you, Dr. Batson, for the edification on how to take care of our bodies, sharing what products you have to help us. God's blessing and upliftment. Thank you so very much. Hello, Doc. Phenomenal day. Honey Bay, good day, my dear. How you doing? Ms. Jacqueline Hart is saying, I love to get the weight loss product. Yes, Ms. Hart, I'm working assiduously and ensuring that you get that as well. Ms. Denise Acosta. Someone is asking, good morning, doctor. My grandmother is 89 years old and she has an itching on her belly, well, stomach skin. What could she use in this phase to deal with that? Okay. All right, that's an interesting question. Tell me, this we got this from 103. So she's 89 years. So the itching. So is it a rash? Is it that you're seeing anything? Is it that you're seeing bumps? The thing is, when people reach a certain age, especially around this age, there's get problems to drink water. Why, I don't know. So maybe one of the things you need to look at is the water intake. Check that. Maybe the body is a bit dehydrated, and as a result of that, the integumentary system, which is primarily comprised of the skin and the other aspects, your glands, your pores, and all those type of things, maybe a bit, it's giving some problems there. Apart from that, we have topical things. We have a mineral formula, which includes silver. We also have a soap that has colloidal silver in it. Excellent product. I love that product so much. So maybe we may be looking at doing a topical situation where that is concerned. But you can contact me or contact us rather and give me some more information where that is concerned. All right. Someone is asking, what tea can be taken to aid with hormonal acne and polycystic ovaries? Miss Manswell is asking that question. Liver tea is going to work. Circulation tea is also going to work. We once had a product called uterus and mammary tea. Unfortunately, the supplier stopped making that tea. So I am in the process with our next supplier where we're doing actually formulating a tea for women for polycystic ovaries and that type of thing. So stay tuned for that. Right? Ms. Nicole Mahabir is asking, morning, what about pain and swelling in the knees? Ms. Mahabir, you need to look at your hydration. If you are dehydrated, then we have to fix the hydration problem. But apart from that, you're looking at joint tea, you're looking at circulation tea, you're looking at inflammation formula. There's a product we carry, which is Krill Omega. I don't know if you know about Krill. I'm a big advocate of Omega 369. Huge advocate because of my education as regards to what Omega can do for the body. It is amazing, and it really is a good help for inflammatory response. So we can help you with that situation. We just might need to tailor stuff specifically for your situation. Ms. Moses is saying, Doc, you know, I have a girlfriend. I gave a girlfriend some circulation tea, and the girl put those little pack sweaters or in it should have keep. Or so I don't read properly what you say. Well, you know better now, my darling. Eye pressure of 20. What to do, Miss Annette Robinson? You need to go to Batson Associates, send somebody, get some circulation tea, eye tea, the alkaline water. I don't know when was the last time you took a detox. Detox does affect the health of your eye. If you have a lot of toxins in your body, it can affect eye pressure. So I suggest you look at that as well, and you should get some good results. We have helped a lot of people with glaucoma. I don't play with glaucoma simply because I'm not a fan of steroids in medicine, but you know, when water more than flowers, the old people say, then you have no choice. That's like antibiotics. I mean, antibiotics is not really the best thing, but it helps. It is needed. Like in my situation, in my tooth right now, I have no other choice. I'll take antibiotics and hush my mouth. So when you're in an emergency situation, things like steroids and antibiotics and all these type of medication is necessary. But once we pass that aspect where the physical body is better, we need to deal with the bodies high up. And remember, I told you guys, there's something called downward causation, which is one of the foremost things that we learn in integrated medicine before we actually understand nutritional medicine, which is very, very important. Because your body can have a vitamin C deficiency, you cannot have an aspirin deficiency. You can have a B12 deficiency, you cannot have a glucophage deficiency. And I'm fed up tell all of that. Because a lot of you all, not that I'm saying not to take medication, understand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you have to understand that there is some things that you need to give the body in order for the body to deal with certain things properly. Okay, I'm seeing someone is saying good morning, but okay. Okay, good. No problem, Miss Miley. I'll try my utmost to ensure that I do that. A lot of people just ask for Dr. Batson to call them, but if you see that list, so I just had to schedule people. You know, it's not like I'm delinquent. Believe me, it's not delinquency at all. It's just a work schedule where I wish I could, you know, multiply myself by 1,000. Or Ms. Moses says, sorry, I meant sweetener. No, tell her don't put no sweetener in the tea, man. Drink the tea just. All right, Miss Simmons. Good morning, Miss Simmons, my dear. So long I haven't spoken to you. I hope you are good. If you need to speak to me, let me know, because I was scheduled to give you a call, and I did. But that particular day, I think I didn't want to call you too late. So I hope everything is going good with you and your daughter as well. God bless. If not, let me know. Right. Miss Jessica Clark is saying, all in not easy, you know. But a pleasant good morning to all you ladies. I hope you're all healthy and you're taking care of yourself. There was a question that someone asked regarding menopause. So ladies, let me tell you something. If you all know you all have this problem with this menopause and this hot flashes and all this kind of craziness, please do not. I mean, I know. Well, I can't say I know, but I know you all will be feeling really bad because menopause is hell, literal hell. Hell might be better than menopause, but we can help you. Whatever issue with, don't want to take a set of sleeping tablets and these sedatives and all, reach a point where you're like zombie, please. Because all you're going to give Dr. Bats more work to help all you. All right. Miss Kathleen Ishmael, my dear, a pleasant good morning to you. You're asking the question, Dr. Batson, how do I take the optimizer and the nerve restore? Okay. With Ishmael, you could use the optimizer first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with water, 8 ounces of water, or if you have advanced chlorophyll, inflammation formula, Genesis, any of those liquid products from us, Synergy, Revitalizer, any of those things, you put 2 teaspoons in that, you mix it and you drink it. Nerve restore, we usually recommend in the night, right? We usually recommend that in the night. Really good product. Donna Williams, you are the black doctor. Oh, seriously? Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Ms. Sue Hoyt is saying, my mother is an 85-year-old diabetic and hypertensive. She has diabetes and hypertension. She's having back pain due to failing kidneys and also extremely painful knee pain. Oh, God, yeah. You need to do something about that, boy. Failing kidneys. The thing is, we can help her, you know. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, a lot of people just ask questions for other people, but the other people that you're asking the question for, they might be open to what we do or to a doctor like myself. You're welcome, Miss Ishmael. I hope you are safe. I hope you are blessed. So in that particular situation, we can help with that because you see, the thing is, I have helped persons in the past, and I'll tell you. And that's why I tell persons I'm not in the politics of a lot of things, especially medicine. I don't have time for that foolishness. What I could tell you, though, is that if someone is diabetic and they're hypertensive, and we can work on their diet and their lifestyle to the point where the blood pressure reads so well and the blood pressure reads so well that they do not have to use as much medication or no medication, any doctor with half a brain would be glad about that. Anybody else telling you something else, then they need to go back to school, or their intentions are not as pure as it's supposed to be. And that's what we want, especially when you're dealing with a situation where someone has kidney issues. You do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. So in that case with your mom, especially at that age, try your best and let's look at the water, look at the diet, and you know, don't give up on old persons. I'm not saying that's the case with you. I had said that in some programs ago. I've had a lot of persons who, you know, their parents old and they're just like, well, you know, they've done 89 years, so whatever. No, it's not like that. All right? Okay, she's open to my help. Okay, good. No problem. Let me see if I could organize and we could do our appointment when I'm doing my makeup days. Right? This week was a kind of difficult week for me because I have a little, you know, situation with my mouth. Teeth, dental thing. Small thing, I'll be okay, but it kind of shut me down a little bit. All right, but I'll be all right. And okay, someone is saying I need to call you personally from the US. That's Miss Donna Williams. Okay. Miss is Jennifer McQueen. I guess I have to come to Trinidad to get well. Oh God, Gil, no Gil. But you see, the thing is, let me tell all you something without telling all of my business. What it is we have to do, you see, because of this new situation with COVID-19, even shipping products have changed. Long time you could just take product and just send it for people, especially liquid. If you have to send things for people now, it has gotten 10 times more difficult and 10 times more stringent. And that is why we have to dot our I's and cross our T's, especially with various authorities in doing certain things. So it's not as if we're delinquent, but it's because, especially when we're dealing with the United States of America, we have to ensure that we put certain things in place. All right, so bear with us. I mean, we getting certain things in place. I know we have helped a lot of persons, but I know we have so much more to help. But, you know, work with us. As I said, those of you who, you know, you have appointments and your appointment might be December, it might be next year. At least if you could come to the office, you know you have a situation. Alkagen water, that Alkagen water help in any situation. I'm telling you. Circulation, tea, any situation. And if you speak to someone, look, I was in St. James, I just passed to pick up something, and there was a young lady there who wanted some things. And, you know, she asked, and I was there, and I gave her some guidance. I talked for her 10 minutes. She basically got a free consultation. Now, understand what I'm saying, eh? Simply because she was there, she was at the counter, she was dealing with one of the administrative individuals, the consultants, and I was there, and the consultant asked me a question. I went out and I spoke to her, and she got through. You know, so where there's a will, there's a way. All right? Someone is asking if I'm dodging the question. That's Russell. No, I'm not dodging the question. And remember, when I was on 103, I would have only be able to see so much. It's now I'm seeing questions. So maybe a question was higher up. So if you could do me the privilege of just typing it again, so I would be able to see it, then I'll be able to ask you. And someone is saying you're not answering my question, Carol. But Carol, and didn't see the question. I'm not dodging anyone's question. Remember, I have so much questions, so I'm trying to answer as much as possible. Yes, Shaki? This one here, no, this one is okay. It's an extreme headache still and drinking lots of water. Okay, we need to, I tried to understand this thing. There's a particular magnesium that I was trying to get. I'm hoping that we should get that by this week. I feel that's the only thing that will be able to help you with that situation, Gail, because there is something wrong where that is concerned. But we will talk. Dr. Batson, we like Snoopy. We holding on the outside of TNT. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Doc. Have a good day. That's Mr. Mohammed. Thanks. Someone is asking, can we get alkagen water from the source? The source, well, if you mean Batson and Associates, well, yeah. You can get alkagen water from any of the offices of Batson and Associates or on delivery, again, from Batson and Associates. All right? Recommendation for troublesome tonsils. Tonsils, that's recurrent infection. It means you have a problem with your immune system. So you're looking at the mineral formula with the colloidal silver. You're looking at the inflammation formula. You're also looking at the, what else would work for that boy? Immune formula would work. Liver tea would help in that situation. Okay, the spit. I spend long hours at the computer. My feet are swollen. There is protein in my urine, and I don't have a kidney problem. You sure? No, we need to do that. Okay, so Ms. Pitt, have you ever used anything from us? What I would suggest, the circulation tea would help. But if you're seeing protein in your urine, that's concerning. Something is wrong there. What's your water intake? How much water you drink? Maybe you're a bit dehydrated. I would suggest you try the alkagen water. Okay? Hydronephrosis, can it be reversed? I have seen instances where it have. I've helped a lot of persons. I've helped a lot of persons with kidney problem. We have helped a lot of persons from going on dialysis. In fact, I just like to get situations like that because it is I feel even better when I'm able to help people not go on dialysis. Dialysis is not fun. It is not a vacation. Okay. Think about Jai saying, thank you for at least showing the ingredients to the Santulan so we can get them and try our best with them. You are appreciated. Oh, thank you so very much. Ruth Charles, my question. Oh, everybody trying to boss me up here, boy. Okay, I'm trying my best. No alkagen water, manufacturing company. No. Oh, no. Well, you see, the thing is that manufactured in Trinidad and Tobago. That's manufactured here. So if you need information regarding that, I can always provide some information for you where that is concerned. Could you get an outlet in Arima, please? They want map outlet all over the place, but in due time, Rome wasn't built in a day. We get in there, right? Neptune, swollen feet, circulation tea. That's the easiest thing I've seen that work. If you find that still you're getting problems, the circulation tea, the alkagen water, we also carry a product called inflammation formula. Good product where swelling is concerned. All right. What would you recommend circulation tea, or would you recommend circulation tea for swollen feet? Yes, I would. That circulation tea works good for swollen feet. It works for pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning on their feet. It is very good for varicose veins or varicosis. It works very well in addition to that for issues with lymphedema. It works very good for spider veins. Very, very good product. All right, Ms. Russell is saying, thank you. Have to wait until you start shipping to Antigua. Okay, no problem. Miss June Jatan, a pleasant good morning to you. Doc, can you give a reply on what I asked about drinking saffron on the morning and drinking a glass of saffron That's the saffron. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah. Thank you so very much. As regards to saffron, okay, so it's saffron, not turmeric. The thing is, yeah, it's a good thing to use. The thing is, when you're using saffron, though, you just need to be a bit careful, saffron or turmeric, simply because it can encourage bleeding because it's a blood thinner, right? So you need to know, maybe you use like maybe about a half teaspoon or a teaspoon in some warm water first thing in the morning. You maybe run that for about 2 weeks. Then you rest it off for like maybe about a month, 2 months, and then you go where that is concerned. All right. Circulation tea. Circulation tea has in it one of the ingredients in that is persimmon leaves, which it also has in santulan. Very, very good product. Very good product. Jophil is saying, what can be done with mildly dilated ducts in the breast? You need the thing is, the anatomy and physiology of the breast, the anatomy and physiology of a female's breast is very intricate in the sense that you have a lot of blood vessels, you have a lot of circulation taking place there. It becomes problematic when women do not have proper circulation and oxygen exchange in the breast. So as a result of that, you find you could end up in some problems. So circulation tea, something local that works quite good is this thing. Oh Lord, I'm going to remember the name I just now, and I'm going to tell you. Right? The inflammation formula, the advanced chlorophyll will also help in that situation. Right? Okay, Aaron is saying, I'm coming to TNT. You did not answer my question. Please, I'm a diabetic and all that comes with it. Okay, that's Oxley. Well, Oxley, as I said, right, remember these things going up, right? So for me to go up the scan, it's a bit difficult. So if you could send it for me again, then we would recommend. Okay, I have what they call trigger fingers with pain and numbness. When you have trigger fingers, you're looking at, that's musculoskeletal central nervous system. So you're looking at things like inflammation formula, circulation T, you're looking at advanced omega. Because what you need to do, you need to address the musculoskeletal aspect, but also the central nervous system aspect of that. That's even things like carpal tunnel and those type of things. Those things are very easy to deal with, you know. It's a matter of now giving the musculoskeletal system what it needs to actually correct those situations. Okay? You're welcome, Ms. Jatan. You're welcome, Ms. Dahlia. Think about it, ja. Ms. Jatan is saying how often? You could drink it in the morning. As I said, that's the saffron you're talking about. Half teaspoon to 1 teaspoon in 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning, and you do it for 2 weeks. Okay? Anything for wet macular degeneration? Yeah, you could use the IT, optimizer, cerebral formula, nerve restore, eye optics formula. Macular degeneration is a walk in the park. That's an easy thing. People shouldn't go blind because of macular degeneration. Okay? I want you to educate on ovarian cysts and endometriosis. Okay, so this is the last question I'll take, right, guys, because of my time. As regards to ovarian cysts is very easy to deal with. It usually comes about as a result of poor circulation in the endometrium, in the uterine area, that type of thing. And there are a number of products that we have to address that. Circulation tea, inflammation formula, alkagen water, this thing too as well, digestive balance will also help with that. Graves' disease, man, we can work with that, man. I hear people talk, somebody come by me the other day and tell me that Graves' disease. If you see how good the person is now. Let me tell you something. Last point I'll make for you guys, right? Remember, a lot of the times, your diagnosis is not important. I might sound like a madman when I say that, but a lot of the times, your diagnosis is a symptomology of a greater problem. You could have 50 different symptomology. You could have diabetes, hypertension, cramping, problem sleeping, acid reflux. And your issue is your gastrointestinal system, or your issue is your immune system, or your issue is your central nervous system. That's what we need to deal with. Your symptomology is not important. You know, people come to me with all kind of fancy diagnosis. Now, I take the diagnosis into consideration, but what I'm saying, when I do what I need to do, when we do that blood analysis, when we put your blood on that screen, and we do what we have to do, and we put you on that magnetic resonance scan machine, I mean blood analysis more than that, but the two helps us. And based on our knowledge and experience, man, The only people I cannot help is dead people and hardened people. Always remember that. Right? So, that's something that we need to work on assiduously. Your diagnosis, somebody come by me the other day, and there's a female, she wasn't the other day, she called me on the phone actually, and she had light chain planners. Now the diagnosis was light chain planners. That is not what she had. What she had was severe inflammatory response in the bowels. She had serious dehydration, and she had an acute situation with her liver. Those three causes were, the result was light chain planners, but it wasn't light chain planners. Atopic dermatitis, all of those people who walking around with eczema and all taking a steroid and putting all the skin on. The problem is not eczema. Your problem is your gastrointestinal system. That is the most difficult system to correct. But once you correct it, you get the results that you want. All right? So again, it's a pleasure. You know me, I could spend hours speaking to you all. I tried my best despite my situation with my teeth to ensure that I do my due diligence to be here. Thank you so very much for the support. Thank you so very much for the questions. Graves' disease. Graves' disease is an autoimmune situation. Any autoimmune situation, McDuffie, we need to address the gastrointestinal. So you're looking at things like digestive balance. This person has to get things like probiotics. And we need to work from the foundation aspect of the body, proper hydration, deal with the liver, and we could fix that situation. All right, McDuffie, I don't know if you're in Trinidad. I think you're one of the persons who normally listen to us on overseas, but we're going to do some work where that is concerned. All right, guys, so always a blessing to be here with you. Those telephone numbers are 314-9975. That's 314-9975, as well as 222-8261. Our locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montreal, Shogunas. We are also on the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie. Okay, you started the liver cleanse. You live in the US. No problem. You're very welcome. We will fix that. All right. Pleasant good morning again to everyone. If I missed you, it's because I didn't see you. Miss Alaine, a pleasant good morning to you, my dear. If you are listening, I haven't spoken to you. I haven't called you in a while, my dear. I'm going to ensure that I correct that. Right. I know you have been dealing with Miss Ramdan. And, you know, let me say a pleasant good morning to the hard-working management and staff at Batson & Associates, people like Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Ms. Jenna Marshall, Mr. Mario Wilson, Miss Monica Passad, Miss LaShawn Hills, Miss Jeanne Robinson, Mr. Rene Bustamante. In our South office there, Miss Roma, Roma, many Christian, they give you a wrong surname, Miss, Miss Budram, Miss Eleanor in St. James, Mr. Montoot in St. James as well, Miss Latoya working very hard in Tobago. I love you guys. I have a lot to do for you still. We have not forgotten you, but we're putting things in place. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to do it. We will ensure, you know, it's going to take us a little while, but we're going to ensure that we get it done properly, okay? And Oxley, praise God, Jehovah, for you. So thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate that. When people tell me God bless me, believe me, I do not take that for granted, because that is, you know, I take that in the atmosphere. Energy, you know, there's a great book, The Law of Attraction. I tell people, when you speak things and you manifest things, you manifest success, you manifest good health, you manifest good energy, it comes back to you. It really does. So again, may God continue to bless you guys. As we always say at Batson & Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless and enjoy the rest of your day. Sunday, please God, I should be with you guys again on Sunday. Sunday we'll be on for 2 hours. So we'll see how much persons we could talk to and entertain there. Okay? Thank you very much. Yes, Miss Mary Johnson, Miss Marsha.